me that at the time when he started doing his shows, because most of the area was white. Carson wasn't even around yet. Compton didn't have no hotels, and the hotels they did have, black folks couldn't stay in them. So we had to build.
There was a time Compton didn't allow black folks to stay in the hotels.
Yes,
really?
It was all white.
Even in California, she was going down like that.
It was still going down like that, Doc. They won't tell you that shit, but I'm telling you what the man told me. It was hard for him to book room for his acts. So what he did when he do those, he added this to it. He built this section up here and put housing up there so the acts would have a place to stay when they was in town. Now, a lot of times they would stay down Central, but again, they down Central in LA because Central Avenue was the main drag for black folks in the 50s and 60s before Crenshaw took over. If you see the movie Devil in a Blue Dress with Denzel Washington, everything happened on Central Avenue. Everything happened on Central Avenue. So now he's telling me when he built Dudos that he built it where he built it, and because it was so close to the city limits, it was in Compton, but it was right next to the city limits of LA. And it's Centennial, some houses, some more houses, skate land, and Dudos. So it might be a mile, maybe not even a full mile from Dudos to LA city limits. He built it that way, and it was working to his advantage because now black folks would come to Dudos to see quality acts and be out of Watts, be in the Watts of LA before the Compton PD could get them. They was all white. Okay. The other side of the room was like a little after party room. Okay. It was a little smaller, held about 200 people. I gave some parties up there. I went to dances up there in high school. But the room that I loved the most at Dudos, man, was his speakeasy. Yeah, he had a real speakeasy. If you didn't know where it was, you couldn't find it. The door was inside of a closet. Okay? And you had to move the closet door and kick it a little bit, and the door would, slide the door back, and there was a full fucking bar. I told the story Saturday in Compton at the Black History Month event. On the walls of, listen, honest to God truth, on the walls of the speakeasy, he had original Ernie Barnes pictures. Him and Ernie Barnes was real tight. Ernie Barnes hadn't blown up yet. He hadn't blown up yet.
That's the guy, the Good Times guy?
That's the Good Times guy.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Ernie Barnes, Dudos has a documentary out someplace. I was in it, and they talk about his relationship with Ernie Barnes. Okay, and he had because Compton was and still is a dry city. You're not going
meaning there's no bars that sell. Wait, break that down.
You're not going into Compton and buy no meal and get a beverage to go with it. Now you can go to the VFW, get some chicken wings and a beer and a shot of Hennessy, but that's a government facility. VFW is totally different from a private owner. Last restaurant we had in Compton that had alcohol and food was Fridays, and folks fucked that off. So now you got to go to Linwood, you got to go to Carson. You cannot sit down in Compton, anywhere in Compton. And
now that you say that, I'm thinking you're right. I've never had a beer and a taco in Compton.
You cannot buy you can buy it from liquor stores, take your ass home. You go to the grocery store, go to liquor store. You got liquor stores up the gang, but there is no facility in Compton. You can go sit down, order a meal, have a cocktail while you wait. Ain't gonna happen. This is in the charter from the 1800s. Okay, why nobody ever changed it? I don't know, but they changed it for Fridays when they had the Fridays there. Since then, that was the last of the Mohicans. But these are some of the things, and here again, it wasn't, and I knocked on Mr. Williams' door. He didn't want to let me rent the building. First, he thought we might have been family because our both last names are Williams. But what locked me in with him was he and Jeffy had a little beef going. Just a little bit. Not major. They wasn't riding by Dudos, riding by Jeffy, shooting at each other and shit. They had a little beef going because Jeffy was right around the corner, okay? Literally right around the corner. I call it off Central. And if the acts played at Dudos on Saturday night, Jeffy would have them Sunday and Monday at Jeffy's for $2, $3. And it was legal. But Dudos didn't like that because he done flew him in and paid for him to be here. He might have made this money. He might not have made this money. He might have lost some money because if people passing out flyers saying they're going to be at Jeffy's for half price, because back then, man, a concert ticket was like $6, $7, maybe even cheaper than that. So if you got Etta James lived in the neighborhood. She's singing the Dudos on Friday. On her way home, she can go to Jeffy's, literally. Okay? So if you got folks coming to town and Dudos putting them up and bringing them in, promoting them, and then they go around the corner and play, you know. And again, sometimes they need some gas money. They might have put gambling because you're talking about different kind of cats. And the guy might be got into a crap game after the show, can't pay his band. So he got to go to Jeffy's and play, do a quick gig. And he didn't like that. They never talked about it. It was no big deal, but it was mentioned to me. But because I worked with Jeffy and I ran his club, he knew about Eve After Dark. He gave me an opportunity. And that's how I was able to do what I did. So I said all that to say this. Man, sometimes as a youngster, shut the fuck up and listen to an old dude talk. You might learn something and you never know who's watching you. Okay? And because I was at Dudos, old man Craig, Mr. Craig Schlesinger, saw me. I hit him up first, but he saw me doing what I was doing at Dudos. Hey, man, let's do that after all. Okay, cool, let's do it. So I was doing Dudos on Friday, Skateland on Saturday. And he was a good dude. I mean, like I said, he offered me Dudos for $200,000. We had just got our record deal with CBS. We had $100,000. I thought I had to give him the whole 100 and not make the album. And I couldn't burn them niggas' money up like that. But it just is funny. Speaking of burning up money, can I put a pin there for a second?
Go for it.
Can I put a pin there for a second? Let me say something right quick. As I watched Yellow's documentary, I got to go back to that for a hot second. When I listened to the documentary, him, Clientele both, was always talking about money. Okay? Talking about how they had records, had records on the radio. They only heard them in California. That's first of all. They only heard them on K-Day. We wasn't on Power 106. We wasn't on every station.